Objection!
Hello everybody, this is Keegan from DuoReview, and I have had an interesting last couple months. You see, just about every single Thursday until this week, that I'm starting to record this, of course, I have been super excited about Thursdays, even though I typically don't like Thursdays. They're my least favorite day of the week, usually. Why? I've been watching this anime called Gakkou Gurashi, or School Live, or Live, or whatever you want to pronounce it, and I have been absolutely obsessed. If you want to know how obsessed I actually am, I have actually pre-ordered the manga that's coming out in America. I have been, like, obsessing over it for the last couple weeks, and I need to talk about it. It's the month of Halloween, and I'm very excited to share this with you. It's not horror per se, but it's definitely darker. I'm gonna pre-warn you before you start this review, because it is vastly important. Watch the first episode, the full first episode. I know. You're gonna start watching it and you're gonna be like, Keegan, why are you making me watch this? This is so boring. Why are you making me watch this? This is so generic, moe, whatever. But watch it until the end of the first episode. There is something that comes at the end that you will probably appreciate not getting spoiled. So go watch that, and once you're done, return to this review, and we can talk about this. It is going to be split into two, sections. It is going to be a spoiler-less part, or like as spoilerless as I possibly can get with this kind of anime. And then the second half will be a spoiler part, so I can talk about all the amazing plot twists that I liked in this series. So without further ado, on to the review! It's gonna be beautiful. So, School Live. Boy, did you come out of freaking nowhere. For those of you who listen to my advice, which I strongly recommend you follow right now, you know that behind this show's cheerful facade lies a darker secret. Yes, indeed, the happy, cute, fun first episode all leads up to the shocking reveal that the school is actually a base for the main characters as they deal with the zombie apocalypse. This show, however, isn't just a cute girls do cute things and kill zombies kind of situation. In fact, the level of deepness that surrounds the entire plotline of the show is almost breathtaking. So, stick with me through this review and you'll find out exactly what I think about this anime. But for right now, let's talk about the characters. The cast's characters, though there's only a small portion of them, are extremely diverse and really do go through quite a bit of character development over the course of the story. Most of them are surprisingly deep and take quite a while to get their full personality. Let's go over a couple of them right now. Yuki is the main character for the series, and thus many of the plot lines revolve around her. She's the emotional support of the group, and is usually really happy and excitable. This is due, in part, to the fact that her mind hasn't accepted the reality they live in, and thus, through her eyes, the world is still normal. Though, when shit hits the fan, she takes on a completely different personality. Kurumi is the shovel-wielding strong one of the group. Despite her tough demeanor, however, her past is riddled with tragic events, and thus she isn't always as strong-willed as she would like to put off. Miki is quite shy and nervous around the main group due to the events leading up to this predicament, but proves to be much more dependable than you would initially think on first inspection. Yuri, who I unfortunately find to be the least interesting of the bunch, is the motherly figure towards the group. She's calm, friendly, and extremely accepting, but that's really about it. Though I will admit that in one of the later chapters in the anime, she gets a lot more interesting. And last, but certainly not least, is Megami, or as I have called her throughout the entire run of the anime, Megane. She is the last living teacher at the school and is extremely caring towards her students, or, at least what's left of them. Her shyness combined with her so-called lack of presence lead to some of the funniest scenes in the anime. And I also have to say that for some reason, I just find her so gosh darn adorable. But no, it's probably not weird, I think. I don't know. You tell me. As far as the plotline goes, there's not really too much I can reveal at the moment. The story gets crazy really quickly, and thus saying just about anything could spoil the anime. I can say though that this anime likes to twist a lot. Some of the twists give more context, but oh boy, some of the twists are a lot more painful than you would initially expect from this kind of anime. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, this anime is dark as shit. It really, and I mean really, is not just a happy fun time kind of anime. Several of the events, in fact, lie on the much darker end of the spectrum. Thus, the happy scenes that are there are a lot more enjoyable because of these darker scenes. It's nice just to have a little bit of happiness after some of the stuff that they do in this anime. The anime is also a lot deeper than one might initially expect. No single scene isn't foreshadowed at some point during the story. But despite this, the hints are strung together so secretly and so well that you may not even notice them. The show also holds many secrets and symbols that you may not initially notice. Seriously, watch this scene right now and see if you notice something. Did you see the board? Yeah, that shit's creepy. But yeah, this anime doesn't hold back. It consistently affected me emotionally. Bear in mind, if you can't deal with depressing stuff, then this anime is going to hurt to watch. It's honestly emotionally traumatizing, and I mean that in the best possible way. As a final note, I will say that this anime's closing episodes are definitely its strongest. Let's just say, you'll be a lot more than just invested in the storyline when those final episodes come around. I believe now is about the time I should talk about the presentation, so let us do that. As far as the animation goes, well, there really isn't much to say. The animation is decent, it looks smooth and solid, I didn't see any errors while watching. The problem is that, well, that's pretty much it. There isn't anything spectacular about the animation, besides for some of the more intense moments. I will admit, however, that the animation does do much more interesting stuff in the final episodes, with some absolutely gorgeous looking scenes and set pieces. It's actually quite impressive. On the sound front, it's a little bit more notable. The intro is extremely catchy, so much so to the point that I listen to it on infinite repeat and while in my calculus class every single day. Yeah, it's that catchy. The 3 credit sequences are all good, though only the first one really stands out to me on a personal level. Besides the one track that plays during the emotional scenes, and you know the one I'm talking about if you've watched it, there isn't too much else that's notable in the soundtrack. But it all fits in fairly well. Let me be clear though, this isn't a negative. It's actually quite impressive to have that many memorable songs on a soundtrack for an anime. Well, I think it's finally about time for me to say my final verdict, and it's gonna be a long one, but bear with me. My first time watching School Live didn't impress me all that much. Over the course of the anime, however, all of that changed. It turned into an experience that words can barely describe. It was simply beautiful. Beautiful in every regard. The story touched me in a way very few things ever have. It emotionally invested me into a show about girls fighting zombies. No joke, I cried at several points during the anime, whether it be from joy or sadness. The final episodes in specific were an emotional roller coaster for me, and I loved every minute of it. It's not all that often that something comes along and blows me away like this. This is, without a doubt, the best anime I have ever seen in my entire life. And dare I say, the best piece of fictional media I've ever seen as well. You may not feel the same way, but that won't change how I feel regardless. I implore, no, I beg you, give this show a chance. It changed my life, and now I want to share it with anyone willing to listen. I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but that doesn't feel right. Putting a rating on something I love this much feels wrong. What I will say is, go watch it right now if you have a chance. Go watch it if you have any chance. If this video hasn't convinced you of its quality, I really don't know what will. Well, that about wraps it up for this review. So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe and all that stuff. And there's not really much else to say, so I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Daisuki!